Let's call the meeting to order. We are all present and accounted for. In addition, we have our student reps here, Ryan Foster.
Right? Oh.
And a newbie. Introduce yourself.
I'm Ashley Saris. I'm a junior here at Cannon Falls.
Well, congratulations and thank you for joining us.
We have you for 2 years, is that what you're trying to say?
What?
We have you for 2 years? Is that what you're trying to
Yeah, but
say?
the first 6 months of the school year may not count, you know.
Right.
It's January.
So,
It counts.
yeah.
Okay. Any additions, deletions, amendments to the agenda? If not, I would look for a motion to approve that.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second.
Rob motions, Kurt seconds. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. So first meeting of the year, that's our organizational meeting, everything from election of officers on down. So we have quite a bit to cover here, so we'll try to get through it in a orderly fashion, but if for some reason we need extensive talk on anything, we'll just deal with that. So under new business, the organization of the board, and since it's been a while, Lori, I'm going to ask you to make sure that I do this right.
Okay.
So we'll now open nominations for the election of the chair.
I'll nominate Bob Britnell.
I'll second.
Jerry nominated Bob. Pat seconded. Are there any other nominees? Are there any other nominees? One last time. Any other nominees? All in favor of Bob as the chairman of the board, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Thank you. Election of the vice chairman.
I'll nominate Pat Doherty.
Pat's been nominated by
I'll second.
Kurt, seconded by Rob. Any other nominees? Other nominees? One last time, any other nominees? All in favor of Pat as vice chair, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Now, we have two positions here. Have we melded those together in the past, clerk and treasurer, or
We
have
have
we?
not. We'd like to keep those separate.
Okay. Now we move on down to the clerk position.
I nominate Brenda.
I second.
Brenda has been nominated by Rob and
You're welcome.
seconded by Pat. Other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Once and final, other nominations? All in favor of Brenda as the clerk, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Election of treasurer.
I'll nominate Kurt.
I'll second Kurt.
Give me a second, Kurt.
Motion by Jerry, seconded by Pat, for Kurt to be treasurer. Any other nominees? Any other nominees? Once and final, other nominees for treasurer. All in favor of Kurt, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Establish the time and meeting place for board meetings. It's usually the second and fourth Mondays at 6 p.m. with one scheduled meeting on the fourth Monday during the June, July, August, and September. And we need to have an okay on this as far as official meeting times, correct?
You do. The only other one you might want to think about is December. For the last 5 years, you've always gone to the one meeting, but that would be up to you.
And it's not the end of the month, is it?
That's a tax.
It tends to
Truth and
be,
taxation.
yeah, right, truth and taxation, but we always run into Christmas and the holidays, and it's hard right after Thanksgiving, so. But you could leave it open and always change it later, as you've done in the past, or you could do it now, whichever you prefer.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve the second and fourth Mondays at 6 p.m. with the one in the fourth Monday during June, July, August, September, and the Truth and Taxation meeting in December.
I'll second that.
Motion by Jerry, seconded by Rob, to show meeting times and dates as shown in the attachment. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Selection of the official newspaper. It's always been the Beacon.
I'll make a motion for the official newspaper to be the Beacon.
I'll second.
Motion by Brenda, seconded by Pat to name the Beacon as the official paper. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is
There's a
carried.
quiz at the end of the meeting. Go back and ask.
Establish the annual salary for board members, currently at $900 per year. I've approached you individually or collectively at one point in time, just to say, you know, back in the day when Mr. Mensing was on the school board, it was probably in and around $600 or $700 at that time. And we've went as low as $400 and been as high as $1,000. Sometimes you think when times are good that maybe we should get paid less. When times are bad and we work harder as a board, we should get paid more. But I will tell you, relatively, we're at probably the bottom of southeast Minnesota, possibly even farther. That doesn't make it right, and it's whatever you're comfortable with.
I've been comfortable with the current status myself. We were at 1,000, when I came on the board, we were at 1,000 at one point in time. We did a 10% cut back to 900. I'm fine there. I don't know how you guys feel, but.
I was surprised when I found out we got paid.
Well, then all we need to do is make a motion.
I'll
on
make a
that.
motion to approve, we stay at 900 per year.
Motion by Pat, Kurt wins that by a fraction.
Being old.
Motion by Pat, seconded by Kurt, to keep the $900 a year stipend for the board. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Authorization of the impress fund. You can read on here what the idea of the impress fund is, Beth, if you have any
Yeah,
additional.
all districts have this. We'd have to have some petty cash on hand just for stamps, things like that, emergency things that type have come up. It's very well documented and all of that. But
I'll make a motion for authorization of the impress fund.
I'll second.
Motion by Kurt, seconded by Jerry.
Yeah, that was mentioned at the audit like a couple of years ago, just to change something on it.
Yep, and we have.
Yeah.
Yep, we've done all that. That last 3 years, actually.
Yeah.
But
Okay, any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Payroll authorization. Nothing behind that. What does it mean?
we would like to pay people.
That's a good thought.
I'll make a motion that we pay people.
I'll second that.
It's got to be more than that. It
Yeah.
just seems too simple.
Yeah.
But that's what we're going to go
Yeah.
with. Motion by Pat, seconded by
Rob. Me.
Rob. Thank you. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Designation of the superintendent as the LEA rep. We need one. It's been the superintendent, day-to-day issues and in general.
Yeah,
I'll
in
make a
general.
motion that superintendent be the LEA rep.
I'll second that.
Motion by Brenda, seconded by Kurt. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. If you look at attachment B, we have just a lot of different committee descriptions on here. And we sent this out previously. The two areas that I have most concern on is that we seem to be going through a lot with our Ed Foundation and representation. And I think it's important for all that some of these committees do is that we make sure, and sometimes Pat, as our representative, has a tough time with the scheduling things, so I would at least ask that we name an alternate to that, as well as an alternate to the tech committee. We've only had one in the past. Rob kind of assisted in the last quarter of last year to just give us another. We're going through quite a few changes in tech. We need somebody there all the time, and if two of you show up, so much the better.
I'll stay on the tech committee.
So, tech committee, and Pat, you would like to stay on it. Well, let's run down that. Negotiations, Bob, Pat, and alternate Rob. we may not, well, we'll still need negotiations. We're just in it.
Yeah, we haven't
Yeah.
Primary
started,
stage.
yeah.
Don't want to change.
Wishful thinking, Mr. Britnell.
All right. Any changes, Pat, you agree to stay on?
Yep, so that's fine.
Rob,
Yeah.
alternate, good?
Yep.
Okay, we'll keep as is. Finance, Bob and Kurt. We meet sporadically, I guess. I'm still good with that committee. How about you?
Yep.
Okay.
Once a quarter.
Policy is Pat and Rob.
Yep.
All good there, Pat? So far, this is easy. Curriculum, Brenda and Kurt.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Here comes the monkey wrench.
Kurt,
No,
you're good as well?
Yep.
Transportation, our need has somewhat dwindled on that, hasn't it?
It
Which is a
has.
good thing.
Last few months has been pretty good.
But I would like to stay on transport,
Yeah, I do too.
okay?
I think we should try and get a meeting here.
Andy and I talked today.
That's a whole separate issue, we'll deal with that. Facility,
Yeah.
Rob and Jerry?
I think that's a good combo.
Yeah.
We're right in the middle of some big stuff too, so if we could leave that one alone, that would be good.
Community Education Advisory, Jerry. Good with that? Okay. Goodhue County Ed District, Brenda?
I'm fine with that, but it would be nice if we had an alternate for that, if anyone would be willing to be the alternate.
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea.
Would be done.
You would? Okay, good.
Kurt?
Brenda is our main, and Kurt will be our alternate. Thank you, Kurt. MSBA Legislative Liaison, Brenda?
Yes, that's fine.
Ed Foundation, Pat is our primary. Do we have an alternate who would like to step forward and assist us with that?
They typically meet at 7, third Thursday of every month. Not typically, that is what they do.
I can be, especially if that's going to be tied in with the technology for a while, it sounds like it could be.
That'll be the program committee, but that's okay, that'll work.
Then I can let you know if there's a time I can't get there.
Yeah, I won't go unless you can't.
Okay.
So Pat as our primary and Rob as an alternate.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Staff Development,
Yeah,
Rob, you're still good with that?
I'm good.
Thank you. Jerry, High School League rep.
Yep.
Good?
Yep.
Okay. And Tech, here's another one where we had Pat is our primary, and Rob, you're going to continue on.
Yes.
All right, thank you. A list of our general meeting times. I'm not sure we need to run through these individually. It looks like everybody's pretty much re-upping for that position. You're very familiar with our meeting times and such. I don't think we need to run through that at all.
I would like to make one special note. One of the biggest initiatives that's coming forward this year is the workforce, world's best workforce, threw a blank there. And we will have to have an advisory committee for that. I would like to use the curriculum committee because it's already got the parents and things on it. We may be doing a little bit of rewording on that because it needs to also involve our strategic plan committee. So we're going to somehow have to mesh that and make that work. But I think that's something we could do down the road, but we are going to have a committee, and they will be checking on that. So keep that in mind, that we may have to rename some of these, but I think we're okay.
Lori, I would assume that we have to okay motion and second on committee assignments?
Yes.
Okay. As discussed, I would like a motion and a second on the assignments that we've just discussed.
I'll make a motion to approve the assignment.
I'll second.
Pat and Kurt. You lost out on that chair.
That's fun, Jerry. Nice.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried.
Make this like a reality program.
Resolution relating to the reduction in programs. That always sounds a little ominous, but you can walk us through that.
It does. You know, every year we want to pass this resolution if we want to move forward with any reductions. You know, we don't anticipate large reductions this year, but certainly it's important to work with the principals on, you know, after registration is done with the kids to see what's needed and what's not. And this resolution covers us for in the future of any reductions that we work through in admin. Again, it won't be substantial like it's been in the past, but we certainly have to be careful with our budget and make sure that our needs are being met with the staffing needs, so.
Okay.
Procedure.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Jerry,
You have to have the read. I'll second.
seconded by Rob. Further discussion? No, this
Is
just
it a
gives us a...
roll call?
This is the resolution that's in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, did you ask a question, or are you just thinking
Yeah,
out loud?
do we need to read this?
We need to read the resolution.
Sure.
I don't know if that came first as a motion.
No, I think we have the motion and then get into the
The
roll
motion
calls.
first, yeah. Okay, this is a roll call for the resolution directing the administration to make recommendations for reductions in programs and positions and reasons therefore. Kurt?
Yes.
Pat?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
Brenda, yes. Rob?
Yes.
Yes.
That passes. Right, it's 6-0. PTO presentation. Anna, you've been dutifully waiting all this time.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Anna Olson, and I'm here representing...
Anna, do you mind come up here just so they can see?
Oh, sure.
They like
Okay.
to, do you mind just coming right up this corner?
Maybe you're up too.
We'll be nice, I promise.
Okay. I'll start over. My name is Anna Olson. I'm here tonight representing PTO. For those of you who don't know, PTO is a parent-teacher organization for the elementary school. I am new to PTO, so that is why I'm here speaking. But I'm very glad to do so. It's a great organization to be a part of. We do a lot of great work for the school, and my son will start kindergarten in the fall, so I want to be proactive about getting involved. And Judy is nice enough to be here backing me up tonight, so if I screw up, she'll tell you. PTO began in 2002, and over the years, the organization has evolved to meet the changing needs of the school community. We recently went through our bylaws that were very outdated and updated them to better reflect the current state of the school community. And through that, we have developed the purpose that drives everything that we do in terms of PTO. And I'm going to quickly read that because it'll cover the rest of what I talk about. The relationships within the Cannon Falls elementary community, which includes students, teachers, parents, staff administration, and community members, are a vital influence to the success of not only our children's future, but of our school and community as well. Therefore, the purpose of the PTO is to foster a sense of support, pride, and enthusiasm for the Cannon Falls Elementary School. We will meet this purpose through increased school and family communications, active fundraising, and social events for families within our community. It is the PTO's goal to promote positive relationships that enhance our children's educational environment, financially, physically, and emotionally. The PTO will strive for excellence in all areas in which they provide support to the elementary school. So the PTO meets monthly. We meet the second Thursday of every month at 6:30 in the Cannon Falls Elementary Library. You're all welcome to come. Teachers are encouraged to come at least one time throughout the year. It's a good opportunity for parents to come and learn what's going on. We do a lot of sharing of information. We don't take sides on any issues. We just answer questions and direct people to the right people if they have questions. We're not a political group by any means. Our primary goal is to fundraise and then provide those extras to the teachers as they need them that might not be in their regular budget or that they might not be able to afford to pay for or shouldn't be expected to pay for on their own. We currently have 10 board members, and as a group we organize and host several events during the year. A lot of you are probably familiar with mini golf. We also do a breakfast with Santa. We do the school carnival. We do fun day. We host book fairs, and through those things they serve the dual purpose of providing a social activity for families, but they also help us fundraise so that we can support and fulfill the requests that we receive. And being new to PTO, I was stunned by what the PTO is able to do in terms of responding to and filling requests. It is very rare. I think there's maybe been one request that we've had to turn down in the last 6 months, and it wasn't turned down. They just had to provide more information, and then we did approve it. So just a brief list of some of the things that PTO has donated money to during the last year. 4th grade apple tasting day, shared book bags for the 2nd grade, lose a tooth, get a book nurses program, special education incentive program prizes, donation to the school walk for diabetes, language art and math hot dots for Mrs. Elber's class, books and folders for the new RTI program, science materials for the 4th grade class, birthday books and bookmarkers, books, and more books. There's a running theme. We donate a lot of books. A new microwave for the teacher lounge, a Cricut machine and cardstock for bulletin boards, donation to I Love to Read Month, Read Naturally for the 5th grade students, dry erase boards for Mr. Sampson's 5th grade class for math, compasses for Mrs. Catterlick's 3rd grade class, take-home folders for 2nd grade, clipboards for kindergarten, multiple classroom organizers and storage. We provided the dinner for literacy night. We also do the teacher dinners during conferences. And we made a $2,000 donation to the 4th grade's Eagles Walk trip, which is something that we do annually. That's our big donation throughout the year. But that's just a short list. I mean, that's just what I've got written down. We do a lot more than that. We're a very dedicated group, and we work hard. We work together to grab volunteers for our various fundraisers, and we have a nice active group of teachers and parents that come often, but we're always trying to get new people. Any questions?
When do you meet again?
We meet the second Thursday of every month at 6:30 in the
This
elementary
Thursday.
library. Yeah, we met last Thursday.
Oh, yeah, Wednesday.
I just have two quick comments. One is, I like how well you guys work with Mr. Bell. I think the relationship between the PTO and the administration is really, really amazing. And the second thing is, and I think it was stated at last Thursday's meeting, I was there and heard it said, and I believe it's true, so many PTOs go out and fundraise by selling things, lots and lots of things. And what I love, and I have young children, so it's really nice to have activities to go to when it's cold out or it's Halloween and I don't necessarily want to take them trick-or-treating per se. I can go have them have some activity at a dance or, you know, it's just really fun that all your fundraising seems to be really activities for me to bring my kids to.
We
and I
don't sell
appreciate of them.
anything.
I like that.
We really do just focus on the activities, because like I said, we want to provide something for people to do, but also generate some funds so that we can support the programs. And I think the teachers now know that they can come to us, and we'll do what we can to help them.
You know, you've really filled in the gap for the district, you know, as we cut and cut and cut. There's those things that may not be essential, but yet they are.
They're the nice to haves. I think a good example, one of the kindergarten teachers came and had requested individual baskets for all of their students so they could put their hats and mittens in because they're constantly falling out of sleeves or hoods. And it just made that pre-recess, getting ready for the bus to come at the end of the day, so much easier. And the kids are so excited to have their own baskets. And for us, it was a relatively small donation, but it made a really big impact on that particular teacher and her students.
How do teachers request?
We have a request form.
Okay.
And Judy, I'm not totally sure about the process for.
It's currently online, and there's also copies in the office if the teachers want to do it that way. They fill out the form. It first gets submitted to Mr. Bell, and then he signs off on it and puts it in our mailbox.
And then we just, our voting process is a little bit more casual. Like I said,
Yeah.
there's 10 of us, so majority vote rules, and
Sometimes we do it on Facebook, depending on how urgent the request is. Otherwise, we try to hold off until the next meeting.
and that was a piece that I missed. PTO's been trying to be more active on social media, so sharing, like I said, one of our primary purposes is to share information, and we do that. We announce PLC days. If there are upcoming, if a parent has a question, we'll try to get the accurate information out that way to try and reach that many more. We're pretty visible, most of us that are on board in the community, so we get stopped and asked questions a lot, which is really nice. I think it just resonates to how beneficial the board is, because it's not just the parents, or not just the teachers that are seeing that we do good things, it's the parents too. All right. Thank
Anything
you.
else?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Mr. Bell, do you reject a lot of things, or that?
You know, and just one quick comment. This group of people is just phenomenal in their dedication to not only Cannon Falls Elementary, but really the district as a whole. And they're trying to look at things now on a much broader level. What will impact the district? And so they're looking at different things that will help provide a better experience for kids here. And being able to work with them is truly a blessing for me. And they do so much for the school, and I can't even tell you in words how appreciative I am but I think how it really impacts and how much teachers appreciate it, so it's great.
Thank you. Item K, trusted employees presentation. I recognize everybody here, but I don't recognize that representative.
I did not get a call from them. We rescheduled because of weather last time. So I guess we'll just skip over that for right now.
And we can do that. Item L, consideration to approve the first reading of the annual MSBA policies as outlined in policy 208.
Yeah, we sent this ahead of time. Lori Hanson is the chairperson of our policy committee, and we did meet. Rob was there, and our committee members that could make it came. And we did some pre-reading and read over the pre-changes, and we also got that to you ahead of time. So if you have any questions, go ahead and ask. They're pretty self-explanatory. A lot of them are just the boilerplate that we have to have, not much for changes. But go ahead, if you do have questions, let us know.
Anyone had a chance to look these over or have any concerns or questions?
There was one, I think that was in there, was that for the establishment of the advisory committee? For, I think it's really called maybe curriculum committee that we have here now, that sound right? Was that in our packet or is online in that packet? Anyone else see that?
That one's not up for a first reading.
Oh, okay. Is it, I just
have
was wondering
this
if that was in there.
list.
Like 13 or 14 policies, I think, fall.
Right, I mean, we'll keep bringing more and more to you,
Yeah.
but that wasn't one of them we were going to do a first reading on
So the one
tonight.
that, okay, that was just on there that Lori sent us all.
Lori, do you know what he's talking about?
There's one that came, that was on there as well, Lori, that came with the agenda.
The social media?
The part that I was reading had to do with, I was just setting up the advisory committee and, you know, who was on the advisory committee. I think that's just probably changed a little bit, and maybe we'll just go over it later at another
Well,
time.
we're going to have
because
to
I
go
don't
over it
think
because of the World's
Yeah.
Best Workforce
Okay.
Initiative coming. We're
That
going to have
has
to
nothing to do
realign
with
that
this,
anyway.
so we'll just-
Not for tonight.
Okay.
We don't need to do a first reading on that tonight.
Sounds good.
They're listed here. If you have any of those questions, we can go with that
Okay.
too. We'll be meeting again. There's a lot of them to go through to get the school. Maybe you'll see it in there if you want to peek through.
I would be looking for a motion to approve the
I'll make
first
a
reading.
motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Pat, seconded by Kurt. Other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Consideration to approve the first reading of the social media policy.
This one, you know, we do want to be a separate line item. I'm going to turn this over to Jake, but this is becoming much more common in schools. I was just at the HVL meeting on Friday. Hayfield, Stewartville, Byron, and now us have, you know, are looking at approving this. We want our athletes and our kids that are in activities to be held at the highest standard. And we need to be appropriate on social media. And if we're asking them to do that, sometimes it's good to put it into a policy. And so Jake, if you want to.
Yeah, haven't really had any issues. We're just trying to be proactive with it. Like Beth said, a lot of schools are going this way. So I did some research, looked at a couple other policies from other schools. One actually was Hayfield, another one was from Connecticut. It was published in a magazine that I get. But this is just something we'd like to put in our registration packet at the beginning of each season. The kids will sign it and understand the penalties if they were to act inappropriately via social media. So.
I guess my question would be, do we have any, can we legally do this?
You know, freedom of speech gets brought up a lot too, but as it says in there somewhere, it's not, you're still representing the school. We're not, I can't remember how it's worded in there, but lots of schools are doing this.
I did have our lawyer review it too.
Yeah.
No, I guess what I look at is seeing that bullying is so much in the media, cyberbullying and everything. I mean, the schools are still involved with that, so this to me is just part of that process.
And I understand it, and I don't want to sound like I'm playing devil's advocate, but
Yeah.
in reality, it's in their homes on their time, how much liability or no liability does the school have over it? You know, see what I'm asking?
I do. I think what Jake and I and, you know, a lot of schools are saying, then don't be a representative of our school. You know, we do have that freedom to say, you know, Ashley, we don't like how you're behaving on Facebook, and, you know, you are a leader, and you are, you know, a great leader, so is Ryan. And we have higher standards for them. We want to be you know, we want to be not only great athletes and great, you know, participants of activities, we want you to be the best person that you can be. And when you get into the real world, you're going to be fired for this activity. And we really think it's important to teach those kids those skills earlier. I did have the lawyer review it. You know, people are going to argue it. You may win, you may not. It's just a guideline, and I'm really proud of Jake for bringing this forward because it's saying this is what we expect. We're putting it in writing, so we're not just saying it. Mr. Hodges has to deal with this so often. It would be really nice if he had something he could turn to a parent and say, this is what we believe in. You know, I just think it empowers our administrators.
And don't get me wrong, I don't have an issue with it at all.
No,
I'm just asking, can we legally do this?
Right.
The general
If-
rule of
if
thumb
our-
that I follow is that if there's an issue on social media that comes into the school, whether it's an activities issue
Mhm.
or just a student conflict issue or a student-teacher
Right.
conflict, if it comes into the school, then it's under my domain to deal with. So
Right.
regardless of where it starts or when it starts.
Right.
Okay,
So.
I'm good with that.
Hey, and this isn't for all students in the school, it's for those in the extracurriculars that we're gonna put to that next standard, that next higher statement that we need, or standard that we need out of them.
And I get that too, but why won't we include all students for this district?
I think we're starting here. I talked to Tim a little bit about it. I know Derek's on board too. At some point, with the legislations coming down, we're going to be looking at bullying and where we want to go with that. And I think this is just a first step to kind of get our school going. Most of our kids are involved in something, so it is impacting most.
We have a couple of things. We haven't chosen to put anything specifically in the student handbook because generally these issues come down to bullying and harassment, which we've already got policies for. And we've got our internet or technology acceptable use agreement. So between the bullying and harassment and that technology acceptable use agreement, it kind of covers all of the, I haven't had an issue that hasn't covered with something with social media, so.
Okay.
But you've got a good point. It's probably some, you know, it's something that probably should be addressed in our school.
I'll make a motion to approve the first reading.
I'll second.
Motion by Kurt, seconded by Jerry. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
You guys okay?
I'm beginning to lose it here. Consideration to approve the retirement request from a custodial employee effective January 10th.
Oh, we did skip one, we'll go back and do it. We have a retirement request, a mid-year request from one of our custodians. He has been, an absolutely dedicated employee to the district. He has just decided it's time, and he's got the vacation time to kind of get him to the retirement point, and then he's going to do that on January 10th. I think it was January 10th, wasn't it, Dave? So,
We've been kind of threadbare in the custodial department for a while. This makes us even more so. Have we replaced that, or are we in the verge of it?
Dave is working on that. We just replaced the last one, and Dave is working on this new replacement now. This gives us a little time because we had the holiday break in there, and Dave worked his magic and threw his fairy dust out there and made everything still happen like it always does, so.
I'll make a motion to approve this.
I'll second.
Motion by Pat, seconded by Jerry. Other discussion?
Just want to thank that individual, I know who it is, but I publicly won't say it.
We can actually say his name. It's Dave Jensen. I should have said that. He has been just an absolute dedicated employee around here for a long time.
And dealing after-school activities, he's always there to help whatever you need, so just want to thank him publicly.
Yep.
Duly noted. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That is
You know,
carried.
we did skip it.
Consideration to approve the resolution approving concept of consolidating education programs of the Goodhue County Ed District at one site in Red Wing. Well,
You have heard Sherry present twice. We've been at a lot of meetings on this. I do have the exact dollar amount you asked for last time, what the savings would be, and it is a savings of, after everything's said and done, I mean, you gotta build a new building, you've gotta, do all those things. And then if we take away the lease, because they lease our Westito building, and they lease this, our Riverside, we will have a savings of $4,354.
So we're gonna recoup
A
our
year
30,000.
or a total, or
That's a year.
per year?
Well, next year, because then after that, we.
So our crap from our
First year.
30,000.
Well, you gotta remember though that you could sell Westito if you wanted to. If Mr. Hodges down the road wants to expand upon his ALC, I mean, you gotta look at the building stuff too. To be real honest, Westito, even since the last meeting, and Dave can back me up on this, we've had water issues out there, we've had roof issues out there. I hope that they can make it one more year out there, because that would be the end of their lease. It has really gotten to the point where no matter what, even if this was to get voted down, they would have to move out of Westito. So we're kind of in a win-win here right now. This is a good program for kids. In the long run, if you have one psychologist working in one building, putting all your facilities together, you're going to save money. It's just the idea of building, I wish it wasn't in Red Wing, I wish it was in Cannon Falls. Anytime we could bring people to Cannon Falls, it's better. But ultimately, when you literally sit down and figure out every single penny, it is a savings.
They're actually saving money on transportation too.
Yeah, that's figured in here, yeah. But it doesn't come up to much, but it's still a savings, and it's what's best for kids, and I think our decisions need to be based off that too. So, they are looking for a resolution night. Zumbrota Mazeppa has passed theirs. Kenny Wanamingo has passed theirs. Goodhue and us are doing it tonight, and I'm not sure when Red Wing is doing theirs.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve this.
Oh, second.
Motion by Pat, seconded by Kurt. Brenda?
This is a roll call. The resolution approving concept of consolidating education programs with the Goodhue County Education District at one site in Red Wing, Minnesota. Start over here, Rob.
Yes.
Brenda, yes. Jerry?
Yes.
Bob?
Yes.
Pat?
Yes.
Kurt?
Yes.
Yes.
That resolution passes by a 6-0 vote.
Sharon?
Okay, moving on down to reports. Board members, I'm gonna call on Brenda, even though I didn't tell her in advance. You attended the retreat or our workshop. Any comments on that?
I thought it was very productive, and we covered a lot of issues. Do you want me to go into that, or I don't? I'm
Well,
not
just
prepared to do that.
the issues that were discussed, that's.
Well, then I should have found my agenda. I didn't have an agenda. It wasn't printed out. That's fine. We talked about our fund balance and where we wanted to be at with that. And we're in good shape with that right now, so that's kind of the fund that we might be able to draw on if we need to. And what were some of the other issues?
We talked about per pupil unit funding, and I wonder if
Right.
anybody would speak to that, just to, it's kind of an area putting us into some relativity with other districts in the state, and as far as the auditor's results and,
I got all my notes in the truck.
I have them here, and you would like to use my notes?
I think we,
Do you want to use mine?
basically, the bottom line is that we continue year after year to give a very high-quality education to this district at a low cost per pupil, per student.
Are we the lowest in the HBL?
Near the bottom.
Or the
We're
bottom?
third from the bottom in the HBL.
Right.
The only other two schools below us, though, have such an open enrollment thing going on that is why they're lower than us.
Yeah.
So, that was kind of the gist of our conversation, basically, it's, we're keeping the costs down and the academics up. So far, so good.
I think, for my purposes on that retreat, I'm not a tech guy, and I've told you all 10 times, and I think that's it's an important goal for us, but yet I'm not sure it was as clearly defined as would make us all comfortable. And I think after that discussion, we were going to separate infrastructure conversation and,
One-on-one initiative. Yeah.
and, you know, and I guess prioritize those, but at the same time, you know, it was, for a guy who doesn't deal in the tech world much, it really, I really feel much better about that conversation, because I just wasn't sure about it all. And certainly, we have to look to our administrators to guide us through and discuss with us what their priorities are and where they would like us to be. But for a guy like me, it needs to be elementary conversation. So the infrastructure, I don't think we go anywhere without clearly bringing that up to date.
Right.
And that's kind of where we've, I don't know if fallen down, but you know, when we're short on funds, we have to prioritize, and somehow that got put on the back burner, and maybe now we have an opportunity here, so.
Yeah, because it is, correct me if I'm wrong, we're on track to get everything up, if not already up for the infrastructure.
We're on track if you continue to, you know, let me build that into the budget. And the video I want to show you tonight is just kind of a sampling of why it's so important and why the administration feels that we don't have a choice. Our students deserve to have absolutely the best, and whether that's a bring your own device or a one-to-one initiative, that is separate and can be separate. But what we have to be able to be capable of is anything they want to bring in and anything our teachers want to do. So for my report, I do have something. It's one that people have probably seen, and there's a million of them out there, but I think it just illustrates why you hear me so passionate about it. Until Bob gets it completely, I'm just going to keep bringing things.
And that may not happen.
Okay, well then I'll just keep bringing them.
And I think that meeting helped, even for me being on that committee, to break out into, because to me, I felt that the one-to-one initiative was taking over the tech, and what you kept saying we're pushing was more the infrastructure.
Sure.
So I felt there was a combat going on here, and I didn't know.
Well, and what I was appreciative that I felt like you guys did here is let us as a district worry about the infrastructure and let these two amazing principals worry about what they want to do, you know, and they're given a budget, and what they decide to do with that budget, we really have to let the leaders of our school figure out what they want to do with that. And so I was really appreciative too that you were hearing what I was saying. You know, let's worry about the big picture and the big, you know, district-wide thing, and let the administrators do what they, you know and are trained to do. So I agree. I thought it was a great retreat. You let me go early, so I was really happy.
It was nice Josh was there, and he gave us a little bit of information on, again, on where we sit as a district with the general fund and the fund balance as to, you know, it looks healthy now, which is great, and it may even allow opportunities to develop more programs, you know, where it's needed most. You know, what can we bring to the district, something to better itself, and, you know, whether it's in tech, you know.
And as we're working on next year's budget, it's fun to put all that in there, and I'm excited for you guys to see that. That'll be coming your way soon, is, you know, that first budget, and then we keep changing it as we go until we get to the final one. But I'm really excited to put all that in there. It's going to be really neat for you guys to see where we're putting the importance and why we've been saving up and building that fund balance up. And yeah, and now to have the legislature actually backing some of these programs and initiatives, it's been helpful. So.
Well, it was good to hear too that, you know, looking at robotics and some of the other offerings that may be out there for Cannon Falls.
But again, we need to get that infrastructure up
to get that to
you know,
that
yeah,
point.
I mean, there's some engineering opportunities out there, but we can't do that
until. And
you know, Mayo is approaching us with biotechnology and wanting to get that in. I mean, I think weekly Tim probably gets messages on things that we could be adding, but we don't have the capabilities to bring them in. Right, right. So for my report, if you want to tie it into that, I've got something I want you to watch. It's only 4 minutes and 34 seconds or something like that.
You know, I'm going to put you down at the bottom of the
Okay.
We will put Beth down at the bottom. So moving forward, Dave Davison, do you have anything for the cause this evening?
Just been a blur as far as with activity and all that. Every day we see, you know, how much value this building is to the things that we do around here when it comes to the community and stuff. And the other day we were talking, and we've already got somebody else that's looking at doing a show here, which is a big name again. And I think word of mouth getting out as far as the the auditorium, the field house that we have, and other things they have around here. I think we're getting pretty well known and stuff, and that's good to see. It's good to see the activity.
Thanks, Dave. Principals report. Tim?
Welcome to Ashley, and Ashley, thank you for joining us this year on the school board. Our semester ends this Friday, so our students, especially in high school, will be changing classes very likely. We had, was this number 4 or 5 of our technology answers? This was, we had a technology in-service after school today, number 5. High school, we talked about learning management systems, and it kind of goes to the bigger discussion of technology and the direction that we'd like to go. So we had a good discussion about that up here. Registration for high school classes is going to start up in a couple of weeks. It's already that time of year. I'm very happy to announce that Cannon Falls High School Middle School was accepted into the Ramp Up for Readiness program through the University of Minnesota. Ramp Up to Readiness is a college and career readiness program with curriculum that'll impact students in grades 6 through 12. The really nice thing about this is that the state legislature this year put in some requirements that we do college and career readiness training with our students. So it was a very timely acceptance into their program. We'll find out in a couple of weeks whether we are an implementer of Ramp Up to Readiness next year or whether we are in the control group. Ramp Up is it is part of a larger university study, so we're being randomly placed in either an implementation group or a control group in the next year, and then for sure in the 2015-16 school year we'll be implementing one way or the other. Next Monday we have a big GCED staff development day here. All districts from the Goodhue County Ed District, including Red Wing, are coming to Cannon Falls next Monday, so it's going to be happening with teachers here. High school staff will be in this building, elementary will be in the elementary, and I believe specialist teachers will be in the elementary also. Are they going to be all over the place?
Specialist groups will be at the high school.
Specialist groups at high school, okay. And then on Tuesday, we have an in-house staff development day, a half day in the morning of staff development, and then afternoon work day. We'll be listening to some speeches from this year's Teachers of the Year. So if you can come next Tuesday morning at 7:30, you're more than welcome to come and listen to that. That's always inspirational and very emotional to listen to them talk to. If you want to stick around for the high school portion of the staff development day, I'm sure the elementary would let you do that too, but we're going to have some people talking about autism, ADHD, and special ed programming, so I'm looking forward to that. Mr. Bell and I have been working hard with a core group of teachers on a teacher evaluation system. We've been meeting about once a month or so for an afternoon, and we're plugging along with it. We feel like we're in a good place, but we've got a lot of work to go with that. And then today, we had our second PLC facilitators meeting with Quentin Pettigrew. I can't stress enough how different PLCs are going to be looking from here on out. And the thing that Quentin keeps talking to us about that I think is really important for you to understand and for staff to understand too is that this is all about student achievement. This is about how you can change what you're doing in your classroom to make sure that students are doing better in your class. So it's really important work, and I think that Quentin is getting us focused on a good path there.
For Ramp Up to Readiness, when that does come in, is that going to hit whatever grades they're in? Because I know it starts at 6th grade. So if you're in
if we implement it, we'll be, unfortunately the seniors are going to get the 12th grade curriculum. They're going to miss out on everything up through there. So, but I think that's, a benefit to us is we can do it building wide and we can do the whole curriculum. So we'll be able to really see some good progression through the ramp up curriculum. So.
Just curious, what does that all entail, Tim, if we, since we are in the group, does that mean you have to change anything that we're doing here?
Well, the biggest thing that's going to change for us when we implement is going to be our schedule. Right now, we have a 15-minute homeroom every day, and I have to work some of this out with staff, but we'll have less homeroom time. But homeroom time will be focused on something, whereas right now, the main focus of homeroom is to try to develop relationships between staff and students. The focus is going to change to more of this of college and career readiness. The curriculum is kind of canned, for lack of a better term. There is a set curriculum in every grade level that is different in every grade level. So 6th grade teachers will have 26 lessons that they do throughout the course of the year, plus a couple of bigger lessons that we'll have to figure out a class for that to be taught in. But I'm really excited about it. The nice thing about it is, well, number one, it's free. Number two, it does something really important that we don't do right now, and that's focus on that college and career readiness piece. And another big piece of that is it's not just getting kids ready to go to college, but getting kids ready for life after high school. So whether that is a tech school, whether that's going into the workforce, whether that's going into the military, whether it's going to a 4-year college. It's providing students with those types of skills and the things that a family may not be able to provide. Surprisingly, the majority of our students who attend college are the first person in their family to attend college, and in this day and age, I know that's sometimes hard to believe, but that's the statistics. Is the kids that are going to college, the majority of them from Cannon Falls are the first student in their family to go to college. So parents may not have a lot of background to be able to provide them the help. This is going to give them some skills that they need to be able to look at, hey, what am I doing now? How is that helping prepare me for what I want to do when I get out of school? So I'm really looking forward to it.
Mr. Bell?
Sure. Well, along the lines of the 1 hour after-school staff development that we do, I think it is our 5th, and today we handed out iPads to the teachers. So the teachers are beginning that process where we're equipping the teachers with the proper tools to educate students in the 21st century. And there was a lot of excitement. A lot of people said it was like Christmas. And with that comes excitement, but it also gives us a sense of direction for the rest of these 1 hour staff development sessions that we have, and hopefully we'll continue with something like that in the coming year or two. But it really is that first step to really providing that new, not the new, but the creating those 21st century learners that we strive for, and that we need to be providing to get them college and career ready. So it was exciting for that. It's Para Appreciation Week, so we've got some things planned for both buildings. But if you know of any paras, thank them. They really make our schools work, so we appreciate them. We just are in the middle of our winter round of our STAR testing and Ames Web testing at the elementary. So, well, pretty much K-5 is doing some type of assessment this week or next, and we're excited because we are now on a common assessment schedule and using common assessments throughout the Cotuit County Ed District. So with our instructional coaches and throughout the district and our own assessment coordinator, we can look for trends and we can look for patterns throughout each of the 5 schools and collaborate with each other and utilize those instructional coaches to see those patterns and recognize and see what it is that Cannon Falls means. It's able to look at our elementary from a different lens than what maybe I can look at it from, or what our teachers can, or so forth. So we're excited about that. Along those same lines, we're getting ready for our OLPA math test, which is the practice MCA math test, if you will. So it's first week in February. I think all of us, we're all doing it. Same thing we've done in years past, but it's good not only to expose the kids to the test, but it's also good to practice our schedule, to to make sure that we can get the kids in and that the test is taking the right amount of time and we can get everybody through in a good amount of time. And lastly, MRC is Minnesota Reading Corps. This is our second year of that, and each year you have to reapply for it, and I just finished the application, and preschool is probably going to say the same thing. We are hopeful that we will continue to get that, because currently we have 2 reading tutors, Bets Top and Diane Huseth, who again need to be recognized for their fantastic work. And that program is just another tool that we can use to help get these kids ready to read by 3rd grade. So.
Thank you.
Yeah.
CE/AD, I guess, huh? Jake, what do you have for
some
us?
good stuff going on down in our preschool program down there. But just recently, last month, we were awarded a perfect 4 out of 4 star rating from Parents Aware, which is a rating system that, according to their website, this is what they say on their website, helps parents find programs that go above and beyond to prepare children for school and life. So again, a perfect 4 out of 4 stars we received out of this. It was a long process. We've been working on this for about 9 to 10 months. Chrissy Nelson did a great job. Our teachers had to do a couple extra trainings. We updated our curriculum. They look at our assessment tools and stuff like that. So for 2 years, we'll be hopefully beyond that, but it's a 2-year system. So for 2 years, we'll get assigned this as a 4 out of 4 star preschool down there. Right now, the system's not in Goodhue County yet. I think in 2015 it's open, so on their website, if you click on Goodhue County, Cannon Falls will show up as a 4 out of 4 star preschool program. Like Derek touched on, the Reading Corps, we volunteered for a Reading Corps study this year, and because we did that, we do have the opportunity to have a reading tutor next year. So they will provide us with a reading tutor, as well as one of our staff people will also be a reading tutor. So Elaine Nelson, who's one of our half-day preschool teachers, will teach in the morning, and in the afternoon she'll actually be a reading tutor in our full-day preschool classes. We do have iPads up and running in our preschool classes. We have 10 total, so 5 in our full-day 4-year-old classrooms and 5 in our half-day 4-year-old classrooms. The kids get to use those in their centers. Teachers love them. Kids seem to like them as well. So, Chrissy Nelson was our coordinator down there. She recently was awarded a $500 grant from Walmart. I know it's not a lot, but every little bit helps. So we use that money to kind of supplement the things we're already doing down there. On the AD side of things, earlier this fall, you guys approved to apply for a Minnesota State High School League Foundation grant. That money is used to cover kids who are free and reduced lunch who don't pay for their activities. We did receive $1,160 to help cover those registration costs. For the winter, registration numbers are up a little bit, pretty close to last year, but we're up a little bit. Debate got some good news this year. Our team of Megan Bauer and Sydney Earhart qualified for the state tournament, so they'll compete this weekend. Football was named Academic All-State Gold, which is the highest level Academic All-State, which means they had a team GPA of over 3.0 for the entire year. And then trap shooting, we're still moving ahead with that. They're going to do a registration date probably in February, which will be before our spring sports sign up, because they have to have everybody registered a little bit earlier than everybody else. They're looking at a Monday night. I think right now they're looking at the 10th, I think, is a Monday. So look for that. They're going to shoot in Wanamingo. They gave us the best price. We're not sure on the date yet. I'm looking at either a Wednesday or a Sunday, so kids can double up on sports and also be able to shoot trap. And it's looking like it might cost about $235 a piece, which is on par with everybody else. Lots of good news.
And we can do that on a Sunday, being it's not a HVL.
Correct, yeah, not a state high school league.
High school league.
So, yeah.
Any questions?
Just with the Ames web testing coming up, that sort of thing, is it possible, guys, to give us a general outcome of that when you get the results back? Is that possible, just to generalize how things are going, or is that too hard to get that together at that time? Or?
Well, we'll have 2 testing for STAR anyway. Ames Web, you've got more data because you've been doing Ames Web for this whole year, but for STAR, we've got just 2 testing sessions. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I was just wondering if it's possible to get an idea how things are going and what your opinion
I'm not
or
sure
ideas
with
are.
STAR whether we even have enough data yet to set
Look at the
goals.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
It helps the teachers, but not probably enough to see changes.
Okay.
eventually it'll be more so a report I think that GCE will give us, because they're the ones that manage our Ames web accounts.
Okay.
They actually, they manage the entire testing process. We actually reimburse them for the tests, but,
Okay.
yeah, eventually I think, yes. Right now, I don't know that we could give you a bunch of numbers, but I don't know if it's gonna mean a whole lot at
Yep.
this point.
Yep.
But I will talk to our assessment coordinator and see.
No, you pretty
what
much
she
answered it,
thinks.
so, okay, sounds good.
Okay, student reports. Who wants to take it? Or are you both gonna?
I can
Got
take
this.
the first part of it, yeah, sure.
Got it, it's all you. Yep.
I saw the buck pass.
I suppose I'll start with sports. It's been a very productive and busy week in sports. Wrestling, last Thursday, looks like there was 2 competitions. Won both of them. This Saturday, there was one. Unfortunately, they lost, but there's another one this Thursday. So we'll have to see how that pans out. Boys varsity basketball, last Friday, we won against Pine Island. And then there's another one this past Saturday. We also won that one with Hunter Johnson's big half-court buzzer beater shot. Pretty fun to watch. And they are playing tomorrow it's home against Kenyon. One of Mingo, and that will start at 7:15 approximately. Girls varsity basketball last Friday, they lost against Pine Island, but they're playing again in Kenyon the same time the boys are playing. Pretty exciting for the dance team. They won first this past Saturday against, it was an invitational. It was at Lakeville South. They took first. Their next one's this Saturday. This week is the end of the quarter, so next Monday and Tuesday we have off of school, I believe. And then the student council at school, we are planning a 3-day winter week that will take place next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, leading up to Saturday's winter formal. And yep, this Wednesday is a PLC day, and I think I covered pretty much everything. Do you have anything to add, Ashley?
Basically it's finals week, so that's crunch time for all the high schoolers. But other than that, I think, yeah, basically a lot of sports action happening, and that's about it.
So do you really have off Monday and Tuesday? He's not sure.
No, I'm not really sure either, to be honest.
Ryan does.
Just show up.
Yeah, Ryan will be here.
I'll be here, yeah. Of course, all the time.
I love it.
Thank you. We'll do the superintendent's report now. You have a presentation for us.
Well, it's one that was on it was a video I was going to show you back at another meeting, and we just kind of ran over, and I thought if we were on track for tonight, I would let you see it. But before I do that, I just want to remind you again of February 1st. I know it's a Saturday, but it's the big legislative session where we're, our representative, Senator Schmidt and Kelly, will be there. I'm presenting at that one, so if you want to come and see that. But it is a really good time to come, and we're going to thank them for the things that they did in the last round, and of course give them ideas that they could continue to do. They just love to hear that. But we've set aside a 3-hour session. I found it last year, unfortunately it's on a Saturday, but it really is powerful, and I do think they hear what we have to say. So if you can make that, you're welcome to come. This video is one that I know the principals have probably seen. There's a lot of different versions of it out there. I know you continue to hear from me how important this technology is. I know I'm probably talking about it too much, but for Cannon Falls, this is a big thing, and it's something we really, really need. And I think something Mr. Hodges said earlier tonight, it does hit on all the areas. We need our kids to be able to have access to whatever it is that's going to, let them go to a 2-year degree or a 4-year degree or the military, or anything that we're going to do is going to take technology. And so this is just a really quick video to kind of show you why it's so important, and to kind of remind us all why it's so important.
5 minutes and 28 seconds.
You'll be okay.
Just saying.
Let's see if we can-
Does it have sound?
Yes, it does.
Do you have it
No, she's
plugged
got it
into the
turned off.
speakers?
It says it's off.
It says it's off. No, it's off. Oh, now you need it. Okay.
Would you like me to help you?
Do you
I
have
don't know why I've got no
it-
sound. I
do
had
you have
sound
it
earlier.
plugged into the speaker?
Yeah, it was,
There you go.
Turn it up some.
it's up.
But,
Yeah, you can grab the lights, Lori, if you could. Okay, so all I really wanted to do is just, again, thank you for our retreat the other night. I think it's that first step in you guys understanding and kind of coming together and seeing what administration is trying to do. We don't want to let any of these kids, not just the two that are sitting here tonight, but we want to prepare them for whatever it is that they want to do in this world. And to be able to do that, we've got to have the infrastructure ready to go. So anything that does come aboard, we're able to give that to our students. And so I was really appreciative leaving that retreat feeling like you guys hear us and you understand why it's so important to us. So this, I think, is just a small example of everything that's changing. We have to keep up with it. And to do that, we have to have a building that's capable of taking on the new things as they come. So it's more of a thank you than anything. Just thank you for supporting us. And I know I speak for Derek, Tim, Jake, everybody, that we're just really appreciative that you are on board on this initiative and really giving it your all. So thank you. That's all I've got. So.
We got all of our reports finished. Upcoming meetings, the 27th of January is our next one, and among the things is the approval of the calendar. As we've discussed in the past, if you have anything that's agenda ready or anything you'd like to add, please contact either Beth or Lori, and we'll see if we can get it on for the next meeting. I'm sure there'll be other things there. As far as the board is concerned, we've got our annual MSBA convention, and held the same time every year, and it sounds like we'll all be attending in total or in part, which is an excellent representation. Unless people think differently, it's a series of seminars and 45-minute presentations that we will look. There's more of them than there are people here, so we'll all be able to split up and look at different things. So it's going to be it's a work session, but hopefully we can get together and have at least a little pleasure out of that. Okay, we've discussed everything. Public forum. Does anyone have anything here they'd like to speak to for the cause? Okay. As we close, I'd just like to thank everyone for giving me the opportunity to serve as your board chair again. You know, positive things for Cannon Falls in the last year. Positive things as far as the legislature gives us an opportunity to move forward. I've told you all several times, 7 or 8 years ago, the forecast for public education was poor. And our liaison at the MSBA told us there was going to be 6 to 10 years of doom and gloom. And I'd like to see that there's more sunlight than darkness for our district at this time. Positive things moving forward. Beth has alluded to them, so have our administrators. And it's good to see for us as a district. And one of the things we discussed at the retreat was our funding. And it's positive for us, but we can't lose sight of the fact that we got there by being conservative. And that doesn't mean that we're going to continue to be totally in that direction, in my opinion, because we've done some things here that need to get repaired. And I'm saying that only because we've had to make some cuts that didn't necessarily have a positive effect on our district. And by discussing the per pupil unit funding, it gives our district, I think, a real opportunity, or our community, to be reinforced that we are spending their money quite judiciously. But it doesn't stop us from looking to the future and saying probably this fall we'll have to give serious consideration to some type of referendum, be it tech or just in general. We can prove to our community how well we're doing here and how we're watching our money, but we're also going to ask their help in expanding our programs, or at least giving us money to continue to be successful. And whether it's new employees, new programs, technology, this is a time for Cannon Falls to feel really good about where they are and to work hard to be even better. So congratulations to our administrators, because, you know, we meet on a monthly basis or twice a month. We ask for their input to assist the community in guiding our district, and ultimately we have to accept all the praise or blame as a board. But now is a time for more positive outcomes for us all, and we should feel good about where we are and where we're going. But we'll have to continue to work hard in that respect.
I'd just like to make a comment. I'm entering my 4th year. You know, this November will be the election. I remember when I first got on the board, and a week from, or this week, when we first went to the MSBA conference, it was doom and gloom and don't expect anything and cuts, 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 and that's all we're going to see for the future. And to see in this short period of time, the changes that the district has made in the positive light. I guess I'd hope that one day we'd be able to not make the cuts that we were making and be able to add things on, and to do it, I guess, this quick, not passing a referendum, to me it's amazing of what the district is able to do, and I'm proud to be a part of this district, of what they've done in light of the new normal, I think was what they called it, wasn't it? The new normal, which prepare for not having money, prepare for cuts, prepare for all that, and here we are just a few years later talking about where and what are we going to do, what's the best for the district. So I think that's just awesome.
Okay, having said all that, I would look for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Rob's made the motion. Who's our second?
No, second.
Kurt. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
Can you show me how to plug my truck in? We're gonna get snow tomorrow morning, so I want to take it
No,
out.
you were,
They've been
I was
using
looking
it
at
as a
him
school
waiting for him to
truck.
do it.